Welcome to The Lab, where we talk about life and beats with creators in electronic music around the world. Brought to you by Pushing Buttons Collective.
So I first found out about Sarah, the Illstrumentalist, through this post that she put on Facebook where she was on a beach with her SP and she was like facing the waves, and it just kind of like, that picture kind of took the beat community by storm, because everybody was like, who's this, we didn't even hear the music yet, and everybody's like, who's this person, sitting on the beach with their SP. It was just so the photo is just so, it was attention grabbing. Let's talk about how long you've been making beats and things of that nature. Like I know that you've been making music for a long time, but as far as like getting into the beat scene, how long have you been in the beat scene?
Probably about 2 or 3 years now.
Okay.
Probably 3 years now.
Word.
Yeah, I've been in it too long, but since I've been in it, I've been like really active or really consistent. So people have been seeing my journey. So I started my YouTube channel in 2016 in August or September 2016. So I would say I was probably consistent maybe a few months before then. So yeah.
Nice.
About 3 years.
Dope. And I mean, you were making music before that, no?
I mean, the process was basically I was making music on my 15-minute breaks at work, and people kept coming to me and asking me what I was doing. So then I started making YouTube videos to kind of just show people what I was up to. So, but yeah, I was making music, but I mean, it wasn't like I was doing a whole bunch before I started my YouTube channel. I just kind of wanted to record my progress because I knew I kind of made the decision that I was a music producer. So, so probably, yeah, about 3 years.
What inspired you to put your music on YouTube at that early of a stage?
Like I said, there was this one specific guy that kept asking me what I was doing on my breaks, and instead of me being annoyed, I just made an opportunity to make a bit like just some videos so I could show him what I'm doing versus him like bugging me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just funny because when I see that guy at work, I really want to thank him, because like, thanks for bugging me about what I was doing, because this is turned into a beast where I can like quit my job now, so it's that was pretty much the motivation. It's just kind of just sharing my experience and knowing like it was the beginning. I didn't want to wait until like when things were kind of like popping off, and I knew how like social media or YouTube to me is what has made people see me. Like if it was just my music, people wouldn't know who I was, and that's for most people. People make music all the time, but we wouldn't know their music unless they actually expose their process of who they are, because there's so many people that are making so many good music, but no one knows who they are.
True.
And I just happen to put myself out there. So I kind of, like I said, knew that this was the beginning. I made a decision that I was going to make music and be a producer, so I was just going to record my process. I just wouldn't be here if I didn't have my YouTube channel. That's for a fact.
Now, your YouTube channel is definitely amazing. I mean, I can honestly say for myself, I've got spill-off fans from the time that you and I have worked together when you came to New York City, where people are like, oh yeah, I know you through Sarah Too Ill. I'm like, oh, dope. But your YouTube channel, I feel like it's definitely a standout from other beat channels that I've seen, because not only do you review new products, hardware and software, but you also, I've seen on your Instagram as well, you highlight a lot of upcoming beat makers. And
oh yeah,
and people have come to me and said, yeah, Sarah Too Ill showed my stuff on her Instagram for Beat of the Week, and like, oh, that's crazy, like she's doing it, like. And there was another
that's my
video,
favorite part.
Yeah, and there was another video when you first moved to LA that you were talking about. That book that you were reading, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, let's
absolutely.
let's talk about how that has manifested into your life. It seems like something that has definitely helped you be more successful.
Well, yeah, the book Think and Grow Rich is basically it's kind of like a step-by-step manual that I kind of think is like the rich people's Bible. And every person that I know that's successful has read this book and has shared so many great things about it. And I had heard about it for a long time, and there was a point where I finally just made it a mission to read it. And when I finally read it, it just changed. It kind of just everything. I mean, everything is going well, but it kind of just made it even better. Like it just, like I said, like you said, just manifesting things and having things show up in the physical versus just visualizing it all the time. This book actually helped push the reality of my desires to happen full effect. So, yeah, I read the book in July of this past year, and it's just a manual that tells you step by step what you should do on a daily basis to make sure that you think, because everything that you do or whatever your reality is, it's really coming from your mind first. You have to think and believe. You have to believe things before they happen. So some people, they want to be millionaires, but they don't believe they'll be a millionaire. You know, some people, it's a difference. So like I found out that for the longest time that the vibration of wanting or needing something is the wrong thing to do. Some people want certain things and they always want it, but when you tell the universe you want something, the universe always gives you what you want, which means, you know, it'll give it back to you. So if you feel like you always need $20, the universe will always put you in situations of needing $20. So what you have to do is realize that you have to tell the universe that you already have it, because the universe will give it to you if you feel like you already have it. So the difference, what I've learned from that book is just the main thing is knowing that what you have, whatever you desire, it's already yours, and then you have to believe it. And that's really the hardest thing for a lot of people, is just believing that something's there for them, even though they want it so bad.
I feel that.
The book kind of, not just the book, but a lot of other teachings, a lot of research that I've done just helped me realize that feeling like you want something is not going to ever get you what you really want. You have to be grateful for what you already have. And then you also have to tell the universe that it's already yours, and you have to believe it. So the book basically teaches you, it programs your mind to do affirmations, to do meditation, to program your subconscious, because everything that you say or everything that comes into you, like what people say to you, or like TV or music, all that stuff comes to you and it actually goes back. It's kind of like a mirror.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of everything you think about, everything you say, your feelings. So the book program, it makes you say things to yourself or do things to yourself every day. So you're at a different vibration. So things come to you a lot faster and easier, effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
So that book has allowed me to literally have everything that I desire. You know, it causes you to have peace instead of always wanting things all the time.
Let's talk about your beat making process. I mean, do you find that you sample more, or are you more into playing things out? You know, how walk us through that.
Well, every day is different. It really depends on how I feel. I think it's 50-50. I like to sample myself, so I love doing things from scratch, like finding some roads and then kind of like processing them through the SP404 or through other plugins and then resampling it and then making a different sound. Sometimes, like with Epidemic Sound, what I do, because I can't sample, you know, like any commercial music or any you know, like any vinyl or anything like that, I can sample from their library, which is really dope because they have their music library has jazz music and like world music and flutes and all different types of musicians, and I could actually go through their library and sample anything from their stuff. So sometimes I'll find like some jazz pianos or so that's what made like hurricane season, if you know, so it's mainly like a lot of jazz stuff, and it's because I got it from their sound library. If it's something that's from scratch, or it's from me, so I'm either sampling from their library, or I'm creating something from scratch. When it comes to like my own process, like when it has nothing to do with Epidemic, when I'm just making music, it really just depends on how I feel. I could, you know, I use a lot of vinyl. Sometimes I rarely go online, but sometimes I'll sample something from Netflix or YouTube. I'll take my phone and I'll actually sample something right into my SP404. And I can sample anything. So if I hear anything, like if it's from Instagram or if it's from Facebook, you know, I can easily, you know, chop up that sample and create my own sound out of it. And that's what I really like about beat making as far as just my own music, because it's kind of like a blank canvas, and it's like collage. So I can take pieces of different work and then make my own, like, canvas, you know, my own, you know. So that's kind of just what I like to do, is just make my own painting out of different paintings.
How often
with music.
How often do you end up working with vocalists or real speech even?
I don't at all right now.
Okay.
So I've only collaborated once with other producers, and that was when Epidemic sent me to New York City in December. But I don't really have a lot of time to collaborate with people, nor did I don't know if I feel comfortable collaborating with a lot of people, because when it comes to music, it's like personal to me. It's like really kind of intimate. So a lot of people want to collaborate, but it's kind of like, to me, it's like a relationship. You have to feel the energy, you know what I'm saying? Like have a vibration, or like can't just go in a studio and just start making music. I really do feel like you have to have some type of relationship.
Right.
Yeah. So like, to me, it's just deep. Like when it comes to music, like it's in my mind, it's in my head. I don't want anyone in my head or telling me what to do or change, or, you know, so sometimes it's hard for me to collaborate or want to collaborate with other people, even though I haven't really done it only but once. So, yeah.
And how'd you find yourself working with Epidemic?
They reached out to me. One of the A&Rs had said that he had discovered some of my music on Spotify, and we built a relationship over time, because at first I didn't really know who they were, and then I spoke to one of my really good friends that has a big YouTube channel, and I told her about it, and then she kind of was just like, yo, you need to make sure you hit them up, because I use their beats, and they have the best sound library for YouTubers. And she was just like, I've been using your beats, and it would be perfect for you to be in their catalog, so you can actually get paid for me to use the music. And I was just like, okay, so they're legit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to build a relationship with the A&Rs over time, just to make sure I feel comfortable with, you know, selling my music to them, because for them, they do get full rights to the music because it's in a music catalog, so people don't get flagged when they have the music on their YouTube channel. So it's a situation that a lot of people probably want. A lot of people, it's not for everybody, but it's something that it's small contracts. It's me being able to kind of get my music out there. They're helping me get my music on playlists. Like I have one song that has, like, within the past month, has over 200,000 streams because it's been placed on a playlist on Spotify.
Now,
you know,
as far as the streams from Epidemic, I mean, do they pay you like a flat out fee, or they pay us up front for the music, for us to make the music, and then we get paid 50% of the streaming revenue. Oh man, because when I saw that Epidemic. And I was like, is that her recording label? I was wondering why it wasn't called No Quantize. And speaking of No Quantize, Epidemic is a third party, is another group that you're working with. So now I get it. Now I understand. Now I understand why it's streamed and not on Bandcamp. I totally understand.
Right,
it now.
Exactly. Because the music I make for them is like I said, I create the music. It's my music, but they totally give me credit. They totally give me creative freedom. They ask me about, the artwork and like all this stuff, and they're totally just amazing. But as far as their music, it's their music, so they stream it. They actually like pitch it to companies and try to get it placed in certain ads and stuff like that. And then whatever happens, I'll get 50% of the revenue.
Oh, awesome. So listen, we're going to take a little break. Right now, we're going to play Neil Armstrong from Sarah's 2018 album, Conversation. So we talked about Epidemic, but let's start talking about No Quantize. That was something when you came out with that, it just took the beat community by storm. The entrepreneurial, steps that you took to make that happen. Let's talk about how that started and where we're at now with No Quantize.
And how'd you come up with the name?
Yeah, and how'd you come up with that name, No Quantize?
Basically, about almost a little over a year ago, I was in the middle of creating Conversations, and instead of me wanting to I was creating the album. I really wanted to launch a website and to kind of house all my information. And at the same time, I had bought an iPad, and the iPad Pro I could use a pencil, so I started drawing beat machines on this app called Procreate, and for some reason I wanted to see what it looked like on a t-shirt. So I had drew like a SP404 on the app, put it on a t-shirt, and then I put it on Instagram. I asked my audience, hey, what do you guys think? Would you guys buy this t-shirt? And then everyone was like, hell yes, we would buy the t-shirt. And I was just like, well, there's money out there that needs to be taken away. So there's money out there. So, and then I was just like, well, that's an opportunity for me to at least sell one t-shirt. But then I remember I was washing dishes one day, and I was listening to Knife Wonder's album, Zion 2. And I was like, remembering, I was just like, I love how he has no quantize on this beat. And I was just like, wait a minute. That's an awesome, terms. I looked it up, and I was like, there's nobody that has this business or the name No Quantize. And I literally did some research on how to get an LLC and established my own business, and I started to create new designs for the brand, and got really into it because I really do like creating art, like, and not just music. Just like my music, like I told you, it's like collage art, and I really like doing that with actual art. I like taking, newspapers or magazines or something from something and cutting it out and then making a whole different picture. So me being able to do that in Photoshop and then putting on a t-shirt, to me, that's just another expression of like my music or myself. And, the added bonus is that I can sell it to other people. And to me, personally, when I go shopping, when I go to like Urban Outfitters or Forever 21, when I see their stuff, I really like it, but at the same time, I really want to see a beat machine on a t-shirt. I want to see vinyl, or I want to see a cassette tape, or I want something music related, and I don't see that out there. So I decided, why don't I just create that audience or that brand that doesn't exist, because I want to wear it. I'm making things I want to wear every single day, and it's just an added bonus that I have people that actually will wear it too. So that's just where it happened. It's just mainly pleasing myself because, you know, why would I want to go spend money with somebody else's design when I can actually spend a couple of minutes creating my own idea? Because I have so many ideas. I just want to make things.
You just
you're
a creator.
Exactly. And I just like making, like I said, making my own stuff. And if somebody else wants to wear it, then that's even better. Like, wow, they're wearing the T-shirt that I'm wearing today.
Yeah, that's so inspiring. It's so cool seeing creatives and producers and beat makers and vocalists just kind of take on all kinds of roles creatively and not put themselves in a box. But how do you make time for it all? Between Epidemics and your beats and your T-shirts and probably everything else you're doing, how do you balance your time?
That's crazy. I also have a full-time job.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I actually work for Beats One right now.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that. Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, you were saying that there's something in the works, but you couldn't really speak on it, and that you had went to LA, and a woman who was one of the founders of Apple Music, I believe. You met with her, you wanted to be her assistant, and you said, and she told you this wasn't a job for you, and then something else came up, and you couldn't really speak on it, and then I saw it, you know, I see it come to fruition. So yeah, let's talk about that. The, you know, assistant producer at Beats One.
Well, basically, as far as the time management, for me, I think everyone has 24 hours in a day. You know, there's people out there that, like, you know, a lot of people inspire me. There's one guy named Casey Neistat that has a YouTube channel, and he's probably right now got 10 million subscribers, but he does daily vlogs, but he also has his own company and he has a family. So there was a video that, you know, he breaks down his process, like, you know, you don't need a lot of equipment, you don't need to spend too much time on your video. So he'll literally tell people like his 24 hours, like, when I wake up in the morning, I run for this, you know, for this many times, I do this, and then he'll record, and then for an hour he'll edit at night, and then he'll sleep for 6 hours, and then do it again. You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, I've like a routine. I try to, you know, I work a 9 to 5, so I'll work that throughout the week. But you know, there's times when I have breaks. So if I have a 15-minute break or a lunch break, I'm creating content. I'm either making a beat, or I'm editing a video, or I'm, you know, fixing my website, or I'm doing bookkeeping, or, you know, I just feel like I try to keep on top of my priorities. I don't waste time. I don't wait until a deadline to get things done. The things need to be done beginning of the day. I don't really understand how I'm able to do all these things, because when you actually say it, now I think about it, it's just like, wow, I work full time. I make beats full time for Epidemic. I have a YouTube channel. I have a business, and then, you know, I also have relationships with my family and friends, and then being able to also like balance a healthy lifestyle. So that's important for me to make sure I sleep good and I eat good and then I work out. So just being aware. Like me, the biggest thing, I like to meditate to clear out like any thoughts, any negative energy, to be around people that are very positive. I'm very aware of my energy and their energy, but also just being organized. I have calendars on top of calendars on my phone, and just, you know, just trying to be my own assistant, my own manager.
Yeah,
so.
that's awesome.
Dope.
And as far as working for Beats, like, so I work full-time in the Apple Store as a genius, and the only reason why I do that is because Apple has a program called Career Experiences where they allow retail employees to work as a corporate employee for a couple of months. And right now I'm doing that with Beats One as an assistant producer. So I'm out here from the end of June to the end of the end of January to the end of June. So I'm out here for like 5 months, and they have me just assisting the producers producing content for the Beats One app that's on Apple Music. So all the live radio shows, all the specials. Like, I'm helping them produce the content, helping them literally get the artwork on the screen, and making sure artists get paid and making artists feel comfortable when they're there. Just doing a lot of really cool things with them, which is really dope. So I'm hoping to get a lot out of the experience, and I really do hope that I continue to work with them once this experience finishes. So I'll be really busy.
Word. So, we're going to take a little break. We're going to now get into this other song off of Conversations called Curved Water. All right, so I mean, what does the like with you at Beats One? What does the beat scene look like from that perspective? Are they recognizing it at all, or?
Well, there's Selection Radio. So Selection Radio is there. Selection. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Selection.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Selection Radio is. I mean, they had Dilla Day, where J-Rock came to do a tribute for J Dilla, which was like one of the best days ever that I got to experience. So it's there. I do definitely. I've given them feedback, or I've actually like presented potential shows that have more instrumental bass artists, and I definitely want to see more of a presence from the underground boom bap lo-fi instrumental scene. So they're getting that feedback. As far as just like beats, is mainly, it's a diverse group. It's like, not just top 40. It's, it's Latino, like reggaeton, it's country music, it's pop music, it's trap music, it's New York City. They have Abstract Radio is Q-Tip's show, and that comes on every week as well. So they have everything. It's just a matter of, I think the biggest opportunity is just people being aware, and I think they are working on that. It's just for about 3 years, Beats One never had any marketing as far as just like people knowing how to even get to the app. So I think this upcoming, I think Beats have proven themselves to the company, and they're going to be able to get more resources so people are actually aware of how to get to the content. Because there's a lot of content, and I get frustrated that people don't even know, like, hey, yeah, Q-Tip's doing a show every week, Elton John's doing a show every week, Pharrell does a show every other week.
It's wild. It's wild.
Like,
Dre does
I did a show with Mike D from the Beastie Boys. It's called Echo Chambers. So like, it's just these things are happening every other week, and that's the thing. A lot of people are aware that they exist, and I'm definitely, they're asking me, what guests should we bring, or what show should we have, and I'm like, yeah, we need to have this. So I'm definitely putting in my 2 cents, and it's up to them to be able to produce the content or be able to get it out to people. But it's a great experience. I think that is just like any company. There's a lot of opportunities, especially with the instrumental scene.
Speaking of that, how, being in LA, have you ventured out into the LA beat scene at all? Have you done any shows or anything? I know you're very busy, but.
No, I haven't had the time to do any of that. I'm out here for beats, so if I do too much, like it's just gonna affect my work. So I'm very aware of my time and like where to put my time in. So, you know, once I move out here, then I'll start doing more shows and get into the scene where I have like when I'm just feel more comfortable, but I'm just like strapped on time right now.
So the plan is to move to LA for work and to become an artist out there. Is that Oh, dope. But I mean, you're originally from North Carolina. How's the scene in North Carolina as far as beats, as far as music? Really? Okay.
I mean, it's there. It's definitely a little scene. There's this collective called Roundhouse, and they're very active and consistent with. They release music every single week since the beginning of this year with different artists from the area, and then they have different shows. They had their 3rd anniversary, and it featured DiBiase at the Pinhook in Durham, which is like the Pinhook is like our place for, you know, the underground beat scene. So like we had Lena Fornia come out there, which is really dope, and then Stolen Drums. I did a show with him back in December, which is really dope. So it's growing. It's not like it's not like when you walk down the street you'll see it. It's just like you have to know who is involved, so you know when the party is gonna happen. But if you're like walking down the street minding your business, you're not gonna find it. You know, unless you know someone that knows what time that show's going to be in 2 weeks, you know, so it's really small. It's not like a huge thing, but it's definitely growing. I like that. It definitely has there's people that have their own situation going on, you know, and I've been able to kind of put Raleigh out there to help people know, like, there's something going on out here, you know,
So and then you were in New York with Epidemic Sound, and you also, when you and I met, that was I think 2 summers ago. You came to New York. I mean, how do you feel about the New York scene for the short time that you were here, compared to other places that you've been at? As far as beats
I love
are
it.
concerned?
I think I feel like New York has something to do every week, every day. You know, I feel like when I'm out there, it's kind of like too much because there's always something, and it kind of just I get lost in I'm missing out because there's so many things that are going on. You know, like today there's 2 events going on. Well, which one do I go to? You know,
every weekend.
This is a great thing to have, which is awesome. That's what I love about New York. There's always something to do. The energy is just high, and there's a lot of opportunity. I see that there's a lot of like female representation out there. A lot of people like trying to get more females aware, and I really like seeing that there's a little scene, not just for beat makers, but for female producers, and there just seems like to be an abundance of female producers out there, and I keep seeing new ones. So I'm just like, who are you? And that's
awesome. It's so dope.
It's so dope. I mean, between like PBC, Gender Amplified, Creator Suite, FM, there's like these little collectives, and it's just a matter of connecting the dots and reaching out to people like you and other women who make beats and produce, and just really bringing them more to the forefront. It's super important that representation is more balanced. You know, and with that being said, like recently you did something with Andrew Wang on YouTube, with the 4 producers, 1 sample. That was dope. You know, I mean, I follow him, so I'm definitely like a fan of his. So yeah, when I saw you on there, I was like, oh, she made it. You know.
Nice.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, how was that experience?
It was interesting. I honestly wish I could probably redo it, only because like what happened was he contacted me in like a time crunch, and I didn't want to pass up on the situation because it is Andrew, and it's just an amazing opportunity for him to just contact me just to work with him. And he just told me, like, he's like, we're going to send you a sample, and you have 24 hours to do it, and then and then you have to record your reaction to other people. So like my biggest thing, I was just so busy where I really didn't have time to make the beat, but I literally made it in like 15 minutes. And I know like Bad Snack spent the whole day, making her beat, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I had more time. And the thing is, like afterwards, they the video didn't get sent, like it was delayed, so I felt like I could have spent more time on it. Because like I literally got it done like the day he told me to do it, and I could have spent like I could have done it on a day where I was really free, because he kind of made it seem like it needed to be done like as soon as possible. So like I kind of felt that I didn't really put my whole all into it, but I had to just do what I had to do.
It was dope. It was dope regardless.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And the thing is, like, me and him, like, I told him, like, my biggest thing, like, I don't like reacting to other people's music because I feel like it's not my place to share my opinion of other people's music, because I like to think, like, we're artists. So, like, if I'm Salvador Dali and you are Picasso, we're both amazing artists, and our paintings are amazing, but our paintings are two different paintings. So how, as Salvador Dali reacting to Picasso's painting, like, to me, it's just like, it doesn't make sense, because like I shouldn't be able to tell you how I feel about your stuff, because you're an artist and you should be able to be confident enough to love your shit, and like not be able to tell me. I shouldn't be able to tell you if it's good or not. Like, you should know. So like I told Andrew, I was like, when you send me these songs of other people, like, I would hate for me to react negatively, because if I don't like something, I really do, like, I share my feelings. Like, that's why people like watching my videos. I'm really blunt and raw about like how I feel about something. So if something comes off really like too EDM and too aggressive, I'm gonna be like, no, this is no. But then someone else may love it, So that's my biggest thing, was like going back and forth with him, saying like, I'm just gonna be nodding my head and trying my best not to like hurt anyone's feelings, because if I don't like the music, then it's,
I feel that.
So
yeah.
But everyone's music was great. It was a great experience. It was just I don't like listening or having to react to other people. Like, even now, when people send me their music, I don't give them feedback. I just tell them I'll listen to it, because I love listening to music. But I tell people, like, you have to ask yourself, would you listen to this every single day? And that's how you judge music. Like, I can't tell you if your beat is done or not. I can't tell you if you should add something or remove something, because that's something that you created. That's something from your heart. So, like, I'm not really good at reacting or giving feedback to other people's music, because I think if you think it's great, then I think it's great.
That's real.
That's real.
Well, with that being said, who are you listening to right now? What's been in your headphones lately?
I listen to K Tronada every day.
Word. I love K Tronada.
But for the most part, I listen to a lot of old music. I put my music on shuffle and I don't listen to like a lot of music that's out now, like new stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of 90s or 200s, or not 200s, 2000s.
Yeah.
Man, what do I listen to? I listen to a lot of instrumentals. I love listening to like the lo-fi boom bap stuff playlist on Spotify, because I don't like listening to a lot of people's lyrics. Because like I said, a lot of things that people say actually come into your brain or to your subconscious. So you have to be careful about what you listen to, because it actually your brain doesn't know that it's a song, and it'll actually start believing certain things that you listen to. So I'm very conscious about certain lyrics and certain songs that I listen to. I try not to I don't even listen to a lot of rap music. I listen to a lot of beats, a lot of instrumentals, a lot of vinyl, a lot of a lot of K Tronada. Good stuff every day.
I love K Tronada.
Yeah, K Tronada. I actually found out about a K Tronada song that I bumped heavily because of a video that you posted when you went to go see him in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what is that song? And I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, this song is dope. At All, that song. I bumped that heavy because of a video I saw that you he was performing and you were taping him with your phone. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
You put me up on it.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Thanks for watching.
Yo, so we're about to wrap it up. Any advice for emerging beat makers?
My advice would be to, there's so much, I would say make a decision to, make that decision of whatever you want to do and stick to it and be consistent. Like, if you want to be a producer, don't say you want to be a producer, say that I am a producer. So when you say that you are a producer, then people are asking, what are you doing? So then you have to do things.
You gotta put in the
Versus
work.
you like, right, exactly. You got to put options into your words. So making a decision to do something and then putting action towards it, and the universe will take care of the rest. You don't have to really worry about how you're going to get to point Z. You just have to believe that you're going to get there. And the best thing is the journey and not the destination. So just know that whatever you want is yours, and you just have to believe it.
Word.
True.
That.
I mean, I feel, even though you said that, you know, Think and Grow Rich, you read it recently, I think you've been applying the tenets of that book, at least since I've met you. You know, you may
Right.
not feel that way. I can tell you since I've known you, like, the work you're doing is amazing. So, you know,
Thank you.
yeah, it's like now you're just like turbo boosting into the stratosphere right now. So it's definitely, you know, amazing to look at and see, you know. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. We want to thank you for, you know, taking out this time to rock with us. Sarah the Illstrumentalist, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Word.
Thank you for your time. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys.
Come
Nah,
out to
nah.
New York again soon.
Word. I'm Pays Infinite
I'm Bamada.
with Sarah 2 Ill, aka Sarah the Illstrumentalist. We're gonna close out with Energy off the Conversations album. Peace.
You took me. You know what I'm saying? You took me. You off. You took me. You. Yeah.